Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everybody. Thank you for tuning into another Supatease video. 10.2 is just around the corner. This is a major patch with major changes coming to pretty much every specialization. And in today's video, I wanted to break down 7 overpowered specializations for PvP. So you can start thinking about what are your options moving into this patch. They're going to give you the best results. And if you want to make sure that you're staying up to date with news related to World of Warcraft, then make sure to smash the subscribe button. Your support is greatly appreciated. Now, there are a lot of overpowered specs, so it was actually really difficult to make this list. Coming in on the number 7 position is going to be the Destruction Warlock, and the main reason for this is the remarkable amount of damage that it is currently able to do. It is probably the highest critical strike damage class in the game. If you want the Cobrak experience, especially with the new Battleground feature coming out, you're going to be getting 400, maybe pushing upwards of 500,000 Chaos Bolts, because now they're increasing the item level of all of the gear by an additional 13 item levels. This is in a recent change, hasn't been tested yet, but Warlocks generally benefit the best on major patches from overall item level increase, and it was already critting that hard even before that point. And this new set bonus where your immolation dot ticks have a chance to reset your interdimensional rifts is going to mean that you are getting a huge amount of damage across the board. Destruction Warlock is going to be a monster across all PvP content in 10.2, and it's definitely going to be a really good time. Coming in at the number 6 position is going to be the staple, the Augmentation Evoker. Now, not much is honestly changing for this specialization. It's just a remarkably powerful, potent, and easy to play specialization that is incredibly durable and able to keep its team alive for quite a long time. Now, its synergy with some melee DPS that are on this list is one of the main reasons that I think it is going to be a really powerful specialization, because it buffs them so much. Main stat is going to be so high with that high item level, and then amping that up even more with Ebonmite means that Augmentation Evoker is going to be even more desirable, and we don't see any nerfs yet towards the things that are making it really tanky and extending PvP matches yet, which is likely why Augmentation Evoker is going to be really, really powerful for 10.2. Coming in at the number 5 position is the Marksmanship Hunter. Now, with this one, similar to 10.1.7, it just does so much damage. That damage is not being toned down as of yet, and if it does, I will relay that to you in a video. So again, make sure you just smash the subscribe button so you find out if it does. But it is just doing a remarkable amount of damage. Its new set bonuses are going to be summoning in volleys of arrows from your rapid fire, which means your trick shots are going to be proccing. Previously, you'd be pretty limited in terms of accessing trick shots. If anybody stacks up against you, they are immediately getting mowed down from this effect. It's going to be super powerful in Battlegrounds. Damage is going to carry over into Arena as well. It's going to be an absolute powerhouse of pure pumpage damage. That is the main reason you're going to be playing this spec, is just sitting down as a turret and absolutely crushing everybody. And I'm sure you all know from playing the current patch how powerful Hunter is. It's just getting stronger from that point, basically. Moving into the number 4 position, the Fury Warrior. And this probably came as a surprise to some of you, because who really talks about Fury Warrior? It's kind of fallen off, right? The main reason Fury Warrior is going to be so potent in 10.2 is the new set bonuses that are basically turning your bloodthirsts into instant cast Chaos Bolts. You're going to be just running around pounding down people with massive amounts of damage, carrying forward one of the most powerful mortal strikes in the game, and you're pretty self-sustainable with Victory Rush and Bloodthirst healing, so you're going to be pretty durable, able to get into the action, going to be carrying the fight with single target damage and cutting people down. You're just doing so much damage moving in here. There's also a new honor talent for warriors that is bringing back the Safeguard effect, so that when they intervene an ally, they're going to be getting 20% damage reduction, which is basically Barkskin, and it has 2 charges, so they can do it twice on a 40-second cooldown. So Fury Warrior and Arms Warrior, to a lesser extent, are both going to be really powerful, as that effect is going to be present a lot in arenas, but in Battlegrounds, I think Fury is definitely going to be taking the edge in terms of overall damage potential and carry, and as well as feel and fun, because it's just going to be more self-sustainable than Arms Warrior is. But yeah, unless that set bonus gets changed or something, these guys are going to be cutting people down. It's remarkable how much damage that this spec is doing. It's been revived from obsolescence or obsoleteness, whatever the word is that I'm looking for here that is not that. Moving into the number 3 position is going to be a surprise. I thought that this specialization was going to struggle. I thought it was going to be terrible, but it seems it is not. And that is the Havoc Demon Hunter. Now, this specialization is getting a 2-minute cooldown metamorphosis. That is going down to the same cooldown as the Balanced Druid's Incarnation, which means those are going to sync up now. And that was a pretty deadly combo. Not to mention it's just a 2-minute cooldown. So getting into Metamorphosis more frequently is going to be massive for Havoc Demon Hunter. The set bonuses coming in for Havoc Demon Hunter are also going to be pushing it over the edge to where now your Blade Dance is also going to lob out 3 Throwglaives. You can basically take your Throwglaive keybind off your bar if you really wanted to. It's basically just going to be to apply a snare when somebody happens to get away from you, because Blade Dance is going to take it away from you basically rotationally with how many Throwglaives you're going to be lobbing out at all times. This is going to be adding all the damage amps, adding in the Soul Rend, adding in the bleeds and the leech and all of these other effects all stacked in together. Fel Barrage got a rework now, so you can cast other spells while it's channeling, which is going to give you even more burst damage. So all in all, you're getting cooldown reductions on some of the most powerful abilities in the game. Your set bonus is probably one of the top 3 in terms of overall potency when it comes to PvP. You're doing monstrous amounts of damage, and it's self-sustained, which is what I was worried about. Seems to not be a problem. It seemed really tough to be able to take them down in my last round of testing. Also scaling with main stat with higher item level. This is going to be a specialization that benefits from this in terms of its overall damage per second. So Havoc Demon Hunter, absolute monster. Definitely a good patch to check it out. Moving into the number 2 position is going to be the Restoration Druid. Yes, a healer is making the list here. We've already seen in the most recent Solo Shuffle community tournament done by Void.gg that Resto Druids can run tree form. And guess what? Tree form is getting some insane changes moving into 10.2. It's basically going to be summoning in Grove Wardens, which are those little tree buddies that are healing people for way too much. And yeah, you're just going to have an army of trees running around in tree pretty much 50 to 60% of the game, with instant cast regrowths and instant cast wraths now as well to add in damage. On top of that, Resto Druid is going to be absolutely unstoppable when it comes to the healers. Definitely the number 1 to check out as of this moment. And now we've got the number 1. Now, do note we do have some honorable mentions because, a top 7 list really wasn't enough to expand into everything that is so powerful. But the number 1 that I can see so far moving into this list is going to be, drumroll please, Subtlety Rogue, and it's kind of a sleeper one, but with Gorma's Bite returning back to the game, Subtlety Rogue's one-shot got even more one-shotty than it was before. This is going to be a class that can kill a target faster than anything else in the game. It still has all of the abundance of crowd control that it had previously in 10.1.7. It is also being made more durable as you're getting talent buffs that are going to increase your healing received. So in the hands of a skilled player, it was already the most difficult spec in the game to take down. It is going to be even more difficult. Its one-shot is even harder. Everything about it is going to be great. It's going to be fantastic in all game modes for PvP, but as a beginner player, maybe not the best choice. If you're looking for something that's a little bit simpler, can get things started right away, you're probably going to want to go for Fury Warrior. But if you're looking for something that's going to have, bang for your buck, good long-term investment strategy, Subtlety Rogue is going to be that spec for you. It's going to be an absolute dominating force in all brackets of PvP. And now, finally, we've got some honorable mention specializations that didn't make the top 7, and those 3 honorable mentions are going to be Balanced Druid, Retribution Paladin, and Affliction Warlock. Now, all of these specializations scale excellently with the increase of item level. Balanced Druid is carrying forward all of the same powerful crowd control effects that it had previously, but its set bonus is not that fantastic, which is the main reason that I didn't put it onto the top 7 list. Retribution Paladin could have easily made the top 7 list. It's basically the same, plus more damage moving into this next patch, with Templar's Verdict duplicating for a minor amount of damage after every time you're spending your holy power, and it's still carrying forward all of its high durability and carry potential. So it's still a monster in all brackets of PvP. And Affliction Warlock, and the main reason Affliction Warlock is an honorable mention is that for some reason, no matter how many changes happen to this spec, and everybody's thinking, oh my god, Ness, it's going to be an Affliction patch, it never happens. It has never happened, and this is one of those patches where you're getting a bunch of changes, making it easier to dot things. They're bumping the item level up. You're getting a lot more main stat. You're thinking it's going to be a good time. In Battlegrounds, I'm certain that Affliction Warlock is the best spec in the game, but when it comes to arenas, and expanding into the rest of the game, not so sure, which is why it didn't make the top 7, but it has potential to get there, which is why it's an honorable mention worth talking about here at the end of the video. So that is my top 7 for 10.2 as of this moment. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment down below with your thoughts. What are you thinking about playing in 10.2? There is a lot of powerful specializations. You really can't go wrong aside from picking Outlaw Rogue and possibly Frost Death Knight. Those are two specializations you might want to be a little bit worried about going after. Pretty much everything else is looking very solid. These are just ones that are, cut above at the moment in the testing phase, and things are subject to change. This is usually the phase of the game where things do change, so you might want to be one of the people, riding underneath the attention radar, the detection radar for nerfs, and it works out for you going for what you want to play in the next patch. But other than that, thank you very much for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.